everyone, and welcome to the Gringo Show. Yeah, welcome back again. Glad to have you back with us. Here's the news from the week that we've been following so you don't have to. What is General Agustin de Iturbide? Mexico had a little lamb, Olga Sanchez Cordero, and a group of feminists protesting for abortion rights have in common? Absolutely nothing, except they seem to all converge on the Zocalo this week in a very active few days in the nation's capital. Well, soon-to-be ex-Secretary of Government Olga Sanchez was just partying. But yes, Mexico celebrated the 200th anniversary of its independence on Monday with a celebration in front of the National Palace with dancing and fireworks. I know. You're asking, didn't we do that on the evening of September 15, 2010? I was there in all my youth and glory. But what's crazy is on that night, it was only a cry for independence and the ringing of a bell, but no document, no notary demanding you initial each page, and that you must sign in blue ink, not black for some reason. But for the next 11 years, there was a lot of fighting in a few territories like Texas, way before Davy Crockett were like, screw you, Spain, we're gonna make our own barbecue. But it wasn't until September 28th, 1821, when Iturbide, yes, the guy who was fighting for the Spanish, and then the Spanish were like, you're a loser, and then he was like, fine, I'm fighting against you, rode into Mexico City and signed that document declaring independence for what is now Guatemala all the way to Wyoming. Yes, so those of you in Topeka, Kansas and Provo, Utah should have celebrated on Monday. Maybe you should have gone to Taco Bell, ate a chalupa, or awkwardly wear a poncho to work and then be crushed by a woke teenager for cultural appropriation. By the way, Iturbide signed two documents. One was destroyed by a fire in 1909. The second was stolen in 1830, returned in the 1860s, stolen again, and then finally bought by a rich Mexican mamon who eventually donated in 1961, and now it's displayed at a Sanborn's in Coapa. Oh no? It's not? Oh, sorry. In the General Archive of the Nation. So that's why Monday was a very, very important day. Kind of. In other news, 14 Mexican soldiers were arrested on Saturday for accidentally crossing the U.S. border. Of course, while he was trying to get his wall built, Trump ordered people to draw a big fat line from California to Texas, and it was so crazy that these guys couldn't see the line. And get this, one soldier was caught with weed in his pocket. What I think happened, and I have no proof of this, they all decided to smoke together, and when they were patrolling the border, they saw a McDonald's on the other side. They were like, dude, we gotta go to the United States. Very bored, Mexican researchers announced last week their findings after using microscopes to detect the dirtiest and most contaminated things at a taqueria. The tacos were fine. The culprit was the salsa. Imagine how many boogers are in your guacamole or your chipotle sauce. I just officially ruined your taqueria experience. I'm just reporting the news, guys. I'm sorry. Speaking of dirty things, the Secretary of Health for the state of Guerrero declared a sanitary emergency last week for the tourist destination of Acapulco for the amount of garbage that is now in the streets. Not sure if they were talking about real bags of garbage or the current cast of Acapulco Shore. Now, the other big story we've been following this week is regarding women's issues. And as AMLO pointed out in a recent press conference, it's only been a thing for the past 2 years.
Hace unos 2 años, cuando empezó el movimiento feminista, muchas mujeres participaron, pero se empezaron a dar cuenta de que se habían convertido en feministas conservadores.
Todas las mujeres son una creación de los conservadores para derribar mi administración. Women had suffered with femicide and domestic abuse forever, and when AMLO was elected, many had hopes that it would change. Feminists have taken to the streets, and some have resorted to violence and vandalism, spray painting over historic monuments such as the Ángel de Independencia, because there's a feeling that that's the only way that people will stop and pay attention to the grave injustices that are happening. Advocacy groups are on the streets again this week, but this time the issue was abortion. Earlier in September, the Mexican Supreme Court made a major decision regarding this issue. Joining us now via video chat is Silvana Carranza Navarro, legislative advisor at the Mexican Senate. Thanks so much for joining us, Silvana. Let's start with what was actually the ruling by the Supreme Court?
A few weeks ago, the Supreme Court here in Mexico ruled three important aspects for women's rights. The first one is that the criminalization of abortion in Mexico is now unconstitutional. The second one is that many states in Mexico acknowledge that human life starts or begins at the conception. But since that means that a woman cannot make free choices of her body and her sexuality, that is also unconstitutional. And the third one, it's a little more complicated, but the Supreme Court ruled that health professionals cannot deny abortion services or euthanasia or helping HIV patients, for saying a few, based on their beliefs.
So now will abortions be legal and readily available since it's now illegal to prosecute people?
Abortion isn't legal already.
Why do you think the news media is not reporting on this?
I believe that there are a lot of interest in between, so this is not their main agenda.
What do you think is going to happen on the border? Since Texas just passed its abortion ban after 6 weeks with a load of other restrictions, is there going to be a run to Mexico for abortions, which sounds totally shocking based on the history of both countries?
Yeah, I believe it's going to happen. I believe girls from McAllen who need abortion services, or doctors and nurses who provide them, will be actually safer in Tamaulipas.
Okay, Silvana Carranza Navarro, legislative advisor at the Mexican Senate. Thank you so much for joining us. A few of the protesters this week scaled a pedestal on Mexico City's main avenue that used to house a statue of Christopher Columbus to install their own version. Then on Wednesday, Mexico City head of government Claudia Sheinbaum revealed 4 new statues on Reforma, such as 200 pesos star and poet Sor Juana and singer Gloria Trevi. Oh no. Oh, not Gloria Trevi? Oh no, I think she owes a lot of money to the government. Just hoping in the next feminist march they don't spray paint over these statues. And they're like, oh shit, I just spray painted over another woman. That does it for this edition of The Gringo Show. I'm Dan DeFasi. I hope you enjoyed watching our show this week. Please follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Share with your friends, aunts, cats, whomever. See you next week.
Gringo, Mexico is laughing thanks to you. We like to watch you dance salsa and listen to your bad Spanish too. We like to watch you almost die from spicy food. DJ Gringo, Mexico just loves to make fun of you. For you we raise our prices and make your bowling explode like ISIS. We won't mention the transvestite in Cancun.